So headshots tend to be something or an expense that writers overlook until they absolutely have to have them.
Right.
Until either it's been requested for a convention or some other kind of appearance, or they need it for a book jacket. And why wait? Because usually by the time you need a headshot, it's too late. You need it now.
Right.
So for all the attendees that come to the conference, I want to make sure that they are prepared when they get those last minute requests for headshots. I have a lot of clients that believe they can do a headshot with an iPhone and save themselves all of that money. The iPhone cameras are fine. It's not necessarily that you are incapable because of the camera. It tends to be the lighting. So you see behind me all of this lighting that I bring with me. I've got about 5 more lights here running around throughout the venue as well. And that's what actually makes the difference between a really good selfie and an actual professional headshot. So that's what I would tell people is, yes, they are expensive, but unless you know how to light yourself and you are capable of doing that, spend the money, guys. Or come to Superstars and have me do it for free.
The reason we started it was because we kept seeing so many writers' workshops over and over and over again, but they were always teaching you how to describe scenes and outline your books or develop characters. And there's a lot of places that teach stuff like that, but nobody taught you how to build your career or how to read your contract or how to understand copyright and intellectual property or how to do marketing and publicity. And we just went, let's do like the business end, the analytical side of things. And we just got together with some other writers and held it for some very serious, I think we had 32 people our first one. Now we're up to 150 people, and it keeps growing because the stuff we're teaching here is just not what other writers' courses teach.
But some of the real stuff that we just finished off stage is we just finished a wonderful panel on tribe building and the importance of connecting with your community.
Right, and the point that we were talking about is that you're not just trying to sell a book, you're trying to sell yourself, and you're trying to get readers, and not just readers for my book or the one I'm trying to sell, but readers for my books and books plural and other books that authors of my friends of mine who write similar things to it, or readers of the genre in general, because you build more readers, you get more books, you get more writers, and we like to help each other out. But one of the things we're talking about is when we do autographings or appearing at Comic-Cons and things like that, is to see fans who come up and they're embarrassed because they don't want to buy a new book because they've got this precious, battered, old, dog-eared copy of like one of my Star Wars books from 20 years ago, and they go, well, would you sign this even though it's so old? And there's no greater compliment to an author to show them that this book has been read 20 times and passed around to all their friends, and it just warms your heart to see this. So you know that that fan is a fan for life, and they're going to read your other books, and then they're going to read books like it, and they're going to discover new authors, and that's kind of what we're learning at Superstars, of how to build your own fan base and tribe and to help each other out, because writing is not a competition. Right. It's not like if you buy my book then somebody else loses. If you buy my book, then you might buy somebody else's book, and then you read another book, and you read another book, and you're addicted. It's like the first one is free or something like that.
One of the things I really talk to authors about is understanding who your reader is. Because if you don't know who your reader is, then you don't know specifically who you're writing to.
Okay.
And not necessarily your reader, because if you write for children, your buyer is the parent. So you want to speak to your buyer, and so once you understand that, and you understand their pain or what they love, then you're going to use keywords that they're going to pay attention to.
Well, you know, I come here every year scared to death that maybe I'm wasting my money or I'm not going to learn anything, because I mean, I've been here before.
Yeah.
Yes.
A few times.
A few times. This is my 7th, and every year at the end of the 3 days, I feel like I've learned twice as much as I've ever learned before, and I'm so energized. I want to go back and start writing. I want to go back and get creative again, because all this creative energy around me has just completely pumped me up. Been coming for 7 years. I just signed my first book contract.
Congratulations.
Yes, and I would have never done it if I hadn't made Kevin, who introduced me to Dave Farland. Dave Farland started editing my books. Dave Farland taught me how to write and showed me all the things I was doing wrong. And a few years later, I'm getting to the point where I'm actually writing pretty decently.
what is it that drives you to come here and help other writers at Superstars?
You know, the whole idea of writers in community, that's I think the most important thing to me. That's what drove my own creative projects, is the ideas that creative people were stronger when they banded together and shared those ideas. Tolkien and Lewis, the Inklings, the pre-Raphaelites,
Right.
comic book collectives, where the artists knew each other and helped each other with deadlines, and now Superstars, where we do the exact same sort of thing. And who here has the talents or the skill set to do the thing that you need help with? Let's find them. Let's go to lunch. Let's talk about it. Let's solve the problem. That's an amazing thing to be able to do. We have a significant number of new people in the tribe, and the level's about the same because we've got a lot of alumni that weren't able to come.
Right.
But they're still part of the tribe, and they're still interacting online, and this is all still one big family.
It really is.
And so the fact that all of these new people are acclimating so quickly, they're realizing within a day that the warmth and inclusivity and acceptance is part of this unique cultural thing that we have at Superstars, and I love to watch that. Everyone has their own unique skills.
Okay.
Everyone has something unique to them that is special. You need to find out what that is if you're not already sure, and use that. Put it out in front and be proud of that, because no one ever inspired anyone else to greatness by pretending to be less awesome than they actually are. And the more you show you're awesome, it comes out in the form of charisma, and people are drawn to you, and they're inspired to believe in themselves more and do the things they love to do because of your example. Figure out what is awesome about you and show the world.